Philodendron Brandtianum vs. Scindapsus. I've had the pleasure of growing both Philodendron Brandtianum and Scindapsus in my indoor garden, and each has its unique charm. Philodendron Brandtianum, with its heart-shaped leaves and silver variegation, brings a tropical vibe to any space. It's relatively easy to care for, which is a big plus in my book. On the other hand, Scindapsus, often known as satin pothos, has stunning, velvety leaves with a silver sheen that almost glows in the right light. While both plants thrive in similar conditions, indirect light and moderate watering, I find that the Scindapsus adds a bit more of a luxurious touch with its textured foliage. Personally, I enjoy the slightly more dramatic appearance of the Scindapsus, but the Philodendron Brandtianum wins for its lush, full growth habit. See more 623 species in genus Philodendron at monsteraholic.com. Philodendron Brandtianum vs. Sodiroi. Comparing Philodendron Brandtianum and Philodendron Sodiroi, I notice quite a few differences in their growth patterns and aesthetics. Philodendron Brandtianum has a more compact and bushy growth habit, with leaves that feature a lovely silver pattern that stands out in any plant collection. It's one of those plants that instantly elevates the look of a room. Philodendron Sodiroi, however, has larger leaves with a striking silver mottling that almost looks like it's been painted on. It tends to grow more vigorously and can become a stunning focal point with its bold foliage. I appreciate the Sodiroi for its statement-making leaves and rapid growth, but the Brandtianum's ease of care and subtle beauty make it a favorite for creating a lush, serene environment. How to care for Philodendron Brandtianum. Philodendron Brandtianum, also known as silver leaf philodendron, is a tropical vine appreciated for its attractive foliage featuring silver veins. Here's how to care for Philodendron Brandtianum. 1. Light. Indirect light. Place your Philodendron Brandtianum in a location with bright, indirect light. Avoid direct sunlight, as it can scorch the leaves. However, some filtered sunlight is beneficial for optimal growth and leaf coloration. 2. Temperature. Warmth. Maintain temperatures between 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, for best growth. Protect the plant from cold drafts and temperature extremes. 3. Watering. Moderate watering. Water your Philodendron Brandtianum when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. Water thoroughly, allowing excess water to drain away from the pot. Avoid overwatering, as it can lead to root rot. 4. Humidity. High humidity. Philodendron Brandtianum appreciates high humidity levels. Increase humidity by misting the leaves regularly, using a humidity tray, or placing the plant near a room humidifier. 5. Soil. Well-draining soil. Plant your Philodendron Brandtianum in a well-draining potting mix rich in organic matter. A mix formulated for tropical plants or a blend of peat moss, perlite, and compost works well. 6. Fertilizing. Fertilizer application. Feed your Philodendron Brandtianum with a balanced, water-soluble fertilizer diluted to half strength every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season, spring to fall. Reduce fertilization during the winter months. 7. Support. Climbing support. Provide a moss pole, trellis, or other climbing support for your Philodendron Brandtianum to encourage upward growth and prevent it from becoming leggy. 8. Pruning. Pruning maintenance. Trim away any yellowing, dead, or leggy growth as needed to maintain the plant's appearance and health. Pruning can also help control its size and shape. 9. Toxicity. Toxicity. Keep your Philodendron Brandtianum out of reach of pets and children, as it is toxic if ingested. How to propagate Philodendron Brandtianum. Philodendron Brandtianum can be propagated through stem cuttings. Here's how to propagate Philodendron Brandtianum. 1. Selecting cuttings. Choose a healthy stem with several leaves. Look for a stem that is not too woody and has at least one node, which is where the roots will develop. 2. Taking cuttings. Use clean, sharp scissors or pruning shears to make a clean cut just below a node on the selected stem. Ensure that the cutting is about 4 to 6 inches long, with at least 1 or 2 leaves attached. 3. Rooting hormone, optional. Dip the cut end of the stem cutting into rooting hormone powder or gel. While this step is optional, it can help promote root development and increase the success rate of propagation. 4. Planting. Plant the stem cutting in a small pot filled with well-draining potting mix. You can use a mix formulated for tropical plants or create a blend of peat moss, perlite, and compost. Insert the cutting into the soil, ensuring that the node is buried and the leaves are above the soil surface. 5. Root development. Place the pot in a warm, bright location with indirect sunlight. Keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. Roots should begin to develop within a few weeks to a month, depending on environmental conditions. 6. Transplanting. Once the cutting has developed a healthy root system, you can transplant it into a larger pot with well-draining soil. Choose a pot that allows room for the plant to grow and has drainage holes to prevent waterlogging. 7. Care. Continue to care for the newly propagated plant as you would for a mature Philodendron Brandtianum, providing it with bright, indirect light, regular watering, and occasional fertilization. 8. Monitoring. Monitor the propagated plant regularly for signs of stress, such as wilting or yellowing leaves. Adjust watering and lighting as needed to ensure the plant's health and vigor. By following these steps, you can successfully propagate Philodendron Brandtianum and expand your collection of these beautiful tropical plants.